There it is. It's Jeans. Look at her. She is all dolled up. What's up? How you doing?
I am all dolled up.
What
I'm eating.
are we eating?
Mm-hmm. Fries.
So
Just fries.
just fries?
Yes, fries with peanut sauce.
Oh, cool. That is unique.
It's
Must be an Aruban thing. So Jeans,
a touch thing. It is.
you're from Aruba,
Yes. Yes, I
Dutch,
am.
or Dutch. So you've lived in Cuba, or sorry, Cuba,
Aruba.
Aruba, all your life,
Mm.
right?
I lived here till I was 20, and then I moved to the Netherlands to go to college.
Uh huh.
And I lived there for 10 years.
Did you know leisure while you were there?
No.
Okay.
No.
How long have we known each other? We've known each other.
A
We
long
met
time.
a long time. We met through Sidious
And
and
Inventor Blades.
and Vinter Blades and that
Mhm.
crowd. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people I don't see anymore from Walter Funky. I don't see him anymore. See Ski.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's
forgot
a
about him.
lot of different people that I don't get to see anymore. So I'm glad that our friendship has lasted several years.
Right. I made a lot of friends in Blade's stream. And some of them I still talk to 8 years later, maybe 7 years later. I'm not sure how long it's been.
Think for
But
me,
yeah,
I've been streaming for six, so a long time. How long you been streaming?
18 months.
18 months. 18
I'm new.
months hardcore.
I'm
So
new to this.
okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. Well, what's your favorite stuff to? I know you play a lot of Overwatch, and
Oh, yeah.
I know you do the
Mhm.
single player game, the variety gaming like I do. What else do you like to
I
play?
like to play multiplayer games. Destiny, Overwatch. Yeah, I like playing single player games as well. But it's too I think it's too much all over the place. Oh, I played ESO for a long time too.
ESO.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did ESO until I hit the level cap, and they were like,
Mhm.
Tilgar was like, "You want to go do PvP?" And I was like, "No, not really."
PvP is fun. It's broken, like too much lag. They don't know how to balance the game.
Right.
It's very, very bad on console, but it's a fun game.
Now you,
PvP is something.
that's right. You're mainly you're like me, primarily a console player, PlayStation
Mhm.
player.
Yeah.
Um, but
I have not yet streamed from PC. I don't have a good enough PC to play and stream from.
I thought you just got a new PC.
Yeah, I can stream, but I can stream and I can play, but I can't do both.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of
it's
that
not.
comes to internet too. How is your internet infrastructure? Speaking of which, how does that work down
We
there?
only have one internet company here, and there is no competition. I think the infrastructure sucks. I don't like
That's
it. I've been having issues with them for since I started streaming, so 18 months.
that's really the way it is. Well, I mean, in the U.S., like you can get DSL or cable. If you get DSL, you have to get AT&T in my region. If you get
Mhm.
cable, you have to get Charter in my region. That's just that's all there is. It's like they're considered utilities, so they get away with one owner or one provider per region or whatever. Like a lot of
Yeah.
places, they have like Comcast, Time Warner, or whatever. Yeah, it
Mhm.
really sucks. So I
I've been
understand.
struggling with them because they have to change something. They have to replace the wire or the cable that goes from the streets to my house. And that's what they've been telling me that they need to do, and they haven't done it yet. I call them every month complaining. There's been a monthly thing with them.
Hey Espinoza, what's going on? How you doing? So pandemic. Aruba's a big vacation spot for a
Mhm.
lot of the world. How has the pandemic impacted your all's economy?
We
'Cause-
have, yeah, it's a tourist destination. So our main source of income is tourism. It's been closed since March, I think. So we have nothing coming in. So the whole island has been closed. So no tourists coming in, no income. Um, a lot of people lost their job. There has been a like in the United States, they had a subsidy in place for people who stopped working. A
Mhm.
lot of the hotels they kept paying their they employees though, so that's good. Um, but like for me, I lost my job. And I'm trying to get a new one, but no one's hiring.
Yeah.
Economy wise, it's been very very hard. So financially, the island has suffered a lot.
Right. Are y'all
A
still
lot.
on lockdown?
No, no. Yeah, the airport is open, but everybody who comes in needs to either have a negative test, not older than 2 days,
Right.
or they have to get a test here, which is $75 and be in quarantine for as long as it takes for them to get the results. Those are the rules.
No, it's good. It's rough. Like my wife, she's in the hospital right now, and to go see her, like she's only allowed to have one visitor, and I don't mean one visitor at a time. I mean
Mm.
one visitor. Like that's your designated person. That's the only person who can visit you. And
Oh,
yeah, and so pandemic's been rough. Visitors aren't allowed to stay between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. So you only get that 12 hours of the day they keep.
mm.
So
Yeah.
it's
It's
rough.
been rough all around.
If somebody walks into the room, of course you gotta put on the mask. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
and if
Yeah.
you leave
Mask
the
is
room, you
mandatory.
gotta put on the mask.
Mm.
Yeah, taking that stuff pretty seriously, which is a good thing. There's a lot of people in the government. It's crazy. Uh, my government politicizing
Wait,
this thing,
yeah.
weaponizing this thing.
Yeah, I don't like know a lot about I know about your country what I hear on the media and the news. So
Right.
I never lived there. I have no personal experience with it. I've only been to your country a couple of times.
Hmm.
But the way it's being portrayed in the media is very, very negative. Very, very negative.
That's what I was going to ask. One of the things I was going to ask you is American politics. How does that affect you in Aruba?
About 70% of our tourists are Americans. A
Mm.
lot of them are retired from the from New York, Massachusetts, Northeast. That's the Northeast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is, if there's a recession in the United States, we feel it. Like after you guys had a recession in the 2008, and
Yes.
in for 9/11 also. Whenever there's a recession in the United States, we feel it. But your foreign policy does not affect us really. It's just more the economy, how the economy is in the United States. If it's good, people travel. If it's not good, people stay
People don't.
home and
Yeah.
come here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's about it in Aruba, at least.
yeah, because you guys are under Dutch law, right? When I was talking to Leisure the Great about this stuff, he was actually saying like in Holland, in Amsterdam, like the American BLM movement. There's now a BLM movement in Holland.
Yeah,
Um, is that the same in Aruba or?
no, we did not have a Black Lives Matter movement here. We did not. We
I
were
didn't.
still very much under lockdown, so any kind of protest or demonstration like that would not have been allowed. But like
Well,
those kind of in the Netherlands, because I lived there, and as a person of color, I can tell you there is a lot of discrimination in the Netherlands. The Netherlands is mostly white, but it has territories like Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, and a bunch of islands. And on these islands, mostly people are mixed race and black. So there's a lot of discrimination against against the islands. And one of the things that I experienced there was because I speak Dutch with a Caribbean accent. My Dutch doesn't sound like the Dutch that Leisure speaks.
right.
I speak with an accent. And because I speak with an accent, people think I don't speak Dutch. They think I'm slow. I had a lot of problems with that. And yeah, they really need to look into that. But here, no, we didn't have that.
So you guys are going through a lot of social politics and stuff like that. You said during lockdown y'all would have gotten in trouble had y'all gathered or protested or whatever. Sometimes, of course, if everybody's protesting, everybody can't get like.
Yeah.
But seems like, and I want to be clear. I am for protesting. I am not for rioting. There's two different things there. People who are peaceful protesting, all for it. Unfortunately, we have some rioters and vandalism going on within the peaceful protesting.
Mm-hmm.
With the groups. And it's really, really bad. But what I was going to say is sometimes, the protest is kind of like worth
getting arrested over.
or worth risking getting a horrible virus during a pandemic over. Especially, because all this stuff has been suppressed since the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. Since the early 70s, late 60s, it's been kind of, we just don't talk about it. We don't talk about it. Kind of need to. But tell me more about Aruba.
Oh, it's hot and sunny. It's a tourist island. There's a lot of people who come here that are from America. They say, "Oh, well, if it looks just like the United States." If you go into the tourist area, it's exactly the same. Find almost the same restaurants and the same stores.
Okay.
But if you want to really get the urban experience, you have to go step away from the comfort, and go really explore. That's where you'll find a real Aruban. We don't usually, as locals, we don't spend a lot of times in the tourist area. It's expensive as hell. That's one. It's really, really expensive here.
Right.
And yeah, we're very, very friendly people. Arubans are very friendly people. Most Arubans speak 4 to 5 languages. I speak 5.
Wow.
Only fluent in 2.
Wow.
Yeah. And yeah, we have a very rich history, but like I said, too much dependent on tourism, too much dependent on one source of income.
Speaking of your history, Aruba's governed by the Dutch. Is that right?
No. We have our own local government.
Okay.
But we're part of the Dutch kingdom, so the king and queen are our head of state.
Okay.
We have our own elections. We don't participate in the general elections in the Netherlands. We have our own, we elect our own prime minister here. There is oversight though from the Netherlands and Europe. And so they do have some say in our business, monetary business mostly, because there's some corruption. There's some corruption here.
Hi, Shaq's foul shot. Shaq's foul shot. That's a could be a good thing or a bad thing. It's more bad. Like Shaq wasn't known for hitting his foul shots there. um, blanking my thoughts here. When I sit down to do these podcasts, it's really I don't have any roadmap. I just decide to talk about whatever's on my mind, and my mind has been I got to be honest, scattered this.
I can if I sent you the message, like if it's not happening, I can understand. You know,
it's all good.
Illness in the family is not.
You said at one time that you were thinking about moving to America. Are you still?
Yes.
That's still
my boyfriend
the plan?
lives there. So.
Okay.
And, yeah, that's still a thing. This whole coronavirus has kind of changed the schedule a little bit, delayed it a little bit, but it's still happening.
Okay.
Hopefully, maybe next year, maybe the year after that. I don't know. Right now, I need to get a job, save a little bit because it costs money to move.
Oh yeah.
I have to move my stuff. I don't even want to think about it.
Especially moving that far. I mean, how far inland are you going?
West Virginia.
So practically neighbors. Borders my state, yeah.
Where do you live? I don't know where you live.
I live in Tennessee.
Oh.
So
that's my boyfriend right there, Wiley Coyote.
Hey, Wiley. That's a name I've seen before. That's a name I am familiar with. So awesome. So still the plan, West Virginia.
I moved from the Netherlands to here, and that was a pretty big move. And I didn't have a lot of stuff because I sold most of my stuff, but it cost money. And as a Dutch citizen, I can't just move to the United States and start working. And that's why I started streaming, to kind of make it an income.
And it seems like the visa laws may or may not get stricter. That's still up in the air too.
Oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about those. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I can, as the way it is now with the visa, because I'm Dutch, I can stay in the United States for 3 months.
Okay.
And then I have to leave, and I can come back, but it's up to the TSA agents at the border if they want to let me in or not. Because if they think that I'm going there for work, they're not gonna let me in. What is it?
Yeah, it's weird how all that stuff works. We are northern panhandle of West by God, Virginia.
I went to visit him, and in the span of like not even 30 minutes, we went from Pennsylvania through West Virginia to Ohio. Oh, so it's literally a thin slice of land,
right?
That he lives on.
Yeah, it really is. The panhandle of West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
You got Kentucky right there. You've got Tennessee's close. He lives in the panhandle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I landed in Pittsburgh, and then it was like 30 minutes to get to where he lived. Really beautiful place. I saw it in the winter, but it was really nice. I've been to a couple of American cities, like I've been to all the big ones: Miami, Orlando, been to Atlanta, Boston, New York. So mostly the big cities. So I told Jeff, why don't we go live in the city, in Pittsburgh? And he doesn't want to. I was like, nope, I don't want to live in the city.
I don't
I
blame
lived in
him.
Amsterdam.
I I don't like living in the. I wouldn't like living downtown in the city either. I don't blame him. I
You,
like living in the rural urban area. You know, people still sit on their porches with shotguns and dare
oh
you
gosh.
to. Yeah, no, I'm serious. I
Oh
am
no.
serious. Like, you better not be selling something. You better be somebody cool. You know. Dare you.
City is expensive.
So
Yeah, well, I
since you're
lived in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. That's the big city I lived in. And I think I've never lived in an American city, but I think my view of what living in the city is based on European cities, and it's not that's not how American cities are. You know? So
no us Americans, we do everything back asswards. So have you in your excitement to moving to West Virginia, have you bought any John Denver CDs or
no,
John Denver MP3s?
no.
No.
Mm-mm. I don't even know any songs. I know the name, but I don't know any songs.
Country Roads.
Just
I was just wondering, you know, that's the big West Virginia song.
mm.
I don't know. That could almost be like their state anthem.
She knows the song. Oh, that song.
Yeah, it was originally
Country
sang by John
Home.
Denver. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. I know the song.
Awesome.
Jeff bought that game, Fallout 76, because it was around where he lives, well, in that area.
Hmm.
And he was excited to play it, and I was excited because I like Fallout, the Fallout series, but we both couldn't get into Fallout 76. We tried. I don't like
I
it.
think a lot of people had that problem on initial launch. Anyway, I don't know if it has gotten better. Have you guys tried it since they've added the NPCs and stuff?
I did. I don't think he did. I did.
And it's still not
I even streamed it once, but since they
your thing.
added the quest and the NPCs, I did. But mm-mm. I think I have to try it off stream. My issue with it then was that I was constantly out of ammo and I couldn't fight, and I died. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I didn't. And they want $100 for private servers. Video game companies, money,
Yep.
money, money.
Yep. $100. This is for the whole year, though, right?
For a
We have
year,
to,
$100
for,
for a year for your server.
yeah.
That's insane. Like, how about giving it to me for free to make up for the crap that wasn't in the game that was supposed to be in the game when it launched? You know, like
Right. But
Bethesda.
ESO has subscription,
Yeah.
$15 a month. So I just did the math. It's $180 a year. And I
Now,
played that game like for 3 years straight, and I paid around the same 125, $150 for the subscription. So
ESO had a subscription. I don't think it does anymore, does it?
it does, but it's not mandatory. So
okay.
it has a lot of good, very very good perks if you pay it, but
Got you.
you can play without it.
Let's
But
say
it's
I
kind of
think I
shit.
played a lot of it. You know, pay once.
Mhm.
I pay for it once, and then like, oh, do you want this? Well, if you were subscribed, you get to play all the DLC and stuff like that. And yada,
Yeah.
yada, yada. But I was just like, how much is the DLC? And I'll pay it once. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
give you $15 a month.
Yeah, the
So-
best thing about the subscription ESO is the craft bag, which you get a Mary Poppins bag. Never fills up.
Really?
Yeah,
So
but
never get encumbered?
only for craft materials, not for like armor and stuff, but only for crafting materials.
Okay.
That's the main reason people use it. That's the main reason I used it.
What has been your favorite? We're getting ready to go into a new generation of consoles. PS5 is on the way. Xbox One Series X is on the way. Out of this generation, what has been your favorite gaming experience out of the PS4,
Yeah,
Xbox One era?
PS4. um, Out of the PS4, um, I did not play a lot of the PlayStation 4 exclusives. I'm thinking I did not play God of War. I played Horizon Zero Dawn late. I didn't play Spider-Man. Last of Us was PlayStation 3. But so the PlayStation 4 should be Destiny 1, that I met a lot of great people
Right.
that I still talk to. ESO, that I met a lot of great people as well, including Jeff. And then for the Xbox One, I did play Ori, and I have to say Ori was my yeah, this is the only Xbox exclusive really that I played, and it's really, really good. I haven't finished it. It's
That's fair
kicking my
enough
ass.
because Xbox didn't really have a whole lot of exclusives this time around, so that's
No.
kind of fair.
I
Think
didn't really enjoy the new Halo. Was it Halo 5?
mhm.
I played it. I didn't really. It wasn't wow for me.
I don't think Halo's ever been WoW for me.
I think my favorite Halo was Halo Reach. I played Halo Reach. It was also my first Halo I played. And I didn't know. I don't know if you played them, but I didn't know what was gonna happen with Reach. So I went in completely blind. And at the end of the game, I was crying. So it made me very emotional. So that's why I really have very good memories of it.
I think I
Whenever a
played
game,
Halo
Mhm.
1 halfway through
Mm.
because it was on PC. I never had an Xbox. So it was on an AMD Athlon gaming PC. I think I played half of the first Halo, and then I think I moved on to something else before I ever got done with it. So I never really got invested with Halo.
Yeah, I played all of them. I started with Reach, and I went to 1, 2, and 3, and then 4, 5. Yeah, I played all of them, but none of them really got to me like Reach did.
I thought about going back and playing them. You know, the Master Chief Collection is available on Game Pass now on
Oh yeah,
PC.
yeah.
That's
I
another
might
strange
play
thing.
it. I know Jeff has it. He bought it.
That's another strange thing about Xbox is who would have thought that like you don't need an Xbox anymore. Like if you have a good enough PC, you can just you have an Xbox if you have Windows 10. You know, that's awesome. Um, but I think my favorite experience this generation, and I haven't played Cyberpunk yet. I'm waiting for Cyberpunk.
Um,
The Witcher 3,
oh yeah, Witcher 3. It's a good
amazing.
game.
Very long game. How many hours did you
It's
put
the
in?
only Witcher I played.
Yeah, I know. I went to replay it this year, and I played The Witcher 1 and Witcher 2, and then Witcher
Yeah,
3.
I was there your stream when you were playing the second one.
And
I
then
remember.
I got all the way through, and I played one of the DLCs for The Witcher 3 because I'd never played the DLCs. And then I was
Mhm.
like, man, I am burnt out on The Witcher. And Tech's like, when are you ever going to finish that other DLC? Because I beat the main game, and I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of.
I have that with Horizon Zero Dawn because I played through the campaign, and then when I got to Breath of no, it was not Breath of the Wild, Frozen Wilds,
Frozen Wilds, yeah.
I'm like, I'm done. I still have to play it. I still have to play that.
So, two-part question. Games on your backlog that you're wanting to get through?
Skyrim.
Skyrim.
Skyrim has been there since PS3. I bought it on the PlayStation 3, and then I started it, but I don't like the combat in Skyrim. I do not like the combat. The heavy and the light attack. And then I stopped playing it, and I bought it for the PlayStation 4, and I started playing it, and I have it there, and I want to finish it.
Okay.
It's there, but every time I start it, no, I don't like it, but I want to finish it
You don't like it, but you want to. Ah, man.
because the story is cool. The quests are cool. The lore, I like the lore.
Right.
But the combat is what turns me off every time.
Really?
Don't like it. And what everybody tells me is that it's just like Fallout. You love Fallout. It's just like Fallout. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I've
Well,
guns in Fallout.
that's the thing. Well, you can do a magic build or a bow and arrow build where you're just sneaky and you know one shot kill people from the shadows or whatever.
Mm, yeah, and the other one is Mass Effect Andromeda, and
Mm.
it's I think I played like 10 minutes of it, and that was when it came out, and I couldn't play. It wasn't really working well, so I stopped playing it. I heard that they maybe have fixed it. I don't know. I don't
Fix
know.
it as much as they're gonna fix it.
So that's what I want to do. That's one of the other ones. I have a very impressive backlog. Even though since I've been streaming, it has gone down. It's
That's
been a
good.
lot better. Um, Thief is another one that I have on there that I want to finish. I think those are the big three.
A Thief. I don't
That
think I've ever played a Thief. Any good?
I started it, I haven't finished it. I don't like starting games and not finishing them. I also don't like buying new games if I have a backlog of like a mile
Right.
long. So I have a rule that if I want to buy a new game, I have to finish one game of the backlog and then I can buy a game.
Here's my thing about games. I do finish almost every game I touch. Almost. There's a few percentage. Like you just know. Like I remember Dragon's Age Inquisition. I've
Oh, I
tried to
love
play
that
that
game.
game. Oh, I have tried to play that game like 5 or 6 times, and I get
Really?
so bored. I'm like, man, the hinterlands are boring. Why is this so boring? Let me out.
It's one of my favorite games. I've played through it twice. And I'm gonna play through it again because I didn't play a magica build and I didn't romance a specific person. So I'm like, yeah, I have to play it
Well, see,
again.
that was the thing. I loved Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, and I had never played a Dragon's Age, and they were like, the same thing they were telling you. Fallout, you know, Skyrim or Elder
Mm-hmm.
Scrolls is basically Fallout because they're built on the same engine. The mechanics technically are the same. They work the same, but for whatever reason, man, and I love high fantasy, and
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, no, this is boring.
I don't think it's necessarily the same as Mass Effect though. I really don't. Maybe the style of storytelling, the quests, the customization, the I don't know. I know they're both made by the same company, but like really they're nothing alike, I don't think.
You know, I had the problem with another game I didn't finish, Final Fantasy 13.
Oh.
I love Final Fantasy. Don't get me wrong. I love 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 2 was okay. Uh, loved 12, not so much, but finished it.
Mhm.
15 was great. 7 Remake was awesome. But 13, man, like, I think I got like 3 or 4 hours into that game, and I was just like,
Mhm.
I've had enough. I'm like, oh, aren't you ever going to finish it? It was just fixing to get good. When does it get good? Oh, about 10 hours in. I'm sorry. If you have to play the game for 10 hours before it gets good, it's not good.
Mhm. I didn't play any of those. I played 7 way back on the PlayStation 1, but I don't
Hmm.
remember any of it. I just remember it having a lot of discs. It was a long time ago.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
remember anything about the story. I don't remember.
3 discs, I think.
Um and I started to play Final Fantasy 15. I didn't finish it. That's also on the backlog. I want to finish it. I want to finish that before I start 7 again, because I don't want to finish. I don't want to start a new game and not having one finished.
Right.
So yeah, that's another one. Oh my goodness, they keep coming.
Did you watch the Xbox Live show or the PS4 event?
No, no.
Didn't watch either one of those.
No, I watched the PlayStation 4 one. I watched on stream.
Or
So
PlayStation 5
they,
or whatever.
yeah, that the PlayStation. I watched that on stream like a day or two later.
Okay.
But the Xbox, no, didn't watch it. Anything interesting?
Xbox. They showed a new Forza, a new Halo Infinite. Looks like it's gonna be games of service. State of Decay 3, which piqued my interest because I like State of Decay 2, even though it was a buggy hot mess. See, another. I said another Forza, right?
Yep. I don't like racing games. Never really played one. I can't stay on the road. Like since Mario Kart, whenever you had to do the Rainbow Road,
right?
I can't seem to stay on the road.
But no, they didn't have a whole lot that like really. I've got to play that. You know what I mean? I think there was one. I can't remember the name of it. It was like this. The Medium. That's what it was called. The Medium. And it looks like
I heard of it.
It takes place in like a dual reality, like a kind of like Silent Hill. You know how Silent Hill takes place in a dual reality. Except you can actually swap back and forth between the realities in this game at will. It looks like that looked interesting. But what games on the horizon are you looking forward to?
Cyberpunk is the only one, really. I am enjoying Ghost of Tsushima. This is one game that I was more excited about getting than The Last of Us Part 2. I still haven't gotten The Last of Us 2.
Yeah, I'm going through it now.
Yeah, that's why I've been avoiding your stream.
After that.
Yes, so yeah, that's one game that I was really looking for was Ghost of Tsushima. And Cyberpunk. I don't know, games that are coming out.
See, people are downing on The Last of Us Part 2. And I'm not going to spoil anything yet, but I feel like I've played a lot of that game. And I don't know what all the gripe is. So far, I love it. I don't know. Maybe that'll change. But.
I haven't been watching any streams, and I haven't really been watching anything. I did read on Twitter people are upset, but I just like scroll through it because I don't want to know. I'll play it eventually.
Yeah, I'll
make up my own mind.
I don't want to know why they're upset. I just know it was very divisive, and people are split on it. That's welcome to 2020. World is so divisive. Is that a friendly? No, Rogue. That's jeans. That's jeans. I'm pointing the. Oh, never mind. Okay. So, you've been streaming for 18 months. Where are you at in followers?
250, almost 260.
Okay.
The growth has been kind of slow, and it's not what like me and Jeff were talking about. That should I have like a main game and stick to that for most streams and have one day where I do a variety stream? So I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people say that to make it big, you've got to specialize in a certain thing, and I just I can't bring myself to do it. If I just played one game, because when you work full time and you got a family full time, and then When you want to game, that's and you're streaming, that's your game time, right? So
Yeah.
like, there's all these games I want to play, and I can't make myself do that. Just stick to one game. I feel like, oh,
Yeah. That's the thing that for me, if I want to make this into a job
mm-hmm.
or my job or a business or in that direction, then I might have to. I don't think I would have a problem with it, but if I don't stream, I don't game anymore. I stream 3 times a week. I used to stream 4 times a week, but now because I'm looking for a job, I only stream 3 times a week. So if I'm not streaming, I'm not playing anything. So I have the same problems as you're just talking about, that I want to play the games that I want to play. But
Right.
if that is like, it means playing what you want and not growing, or having one game and grow.
Yeah, I
What
just
what
don't buy into that mindset, you know? Like,
Mhm.
oh,
Well, we
that
can test it. so so let's see, for a couple of months we only play one game and see if, because I did notice that when I was playing Borderlands, I would get people following me. And
right.
whenever I wasn't playing Borderlands, then they would come say hi and leave, or they would unfollow. And that's what I mean when I'm all over the place with my games.
Right. No, I know it's true, because like when
Mhm.
Battlefield 1 came out, that's all I was playing, because we were in a drought. So I was playing Battlefield 1.
Mhm.
And Battlefield 1 was really good to me. But then, other games started coming out, and I started slipping into that. And
Follower
then
wise, you mean?
the
It was good.
followers and views kind of, well,
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
kind of just went down. And then PUBG came out, PUBG, and it was during another drought. There was nothing came out the summer that PUBG came out, so we played it all summer long. Views and everything, it was up in the air, right? Like, and then same thing with Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Everybody was like, well, why did you play so much Call of Duty? One, I loved it a whole lot, and two, there wasn't really nothing else going on. So, yeah.
Yeah, you did play Call of Duty for a long time. Did you notice like an increase in your
Yeah.
viewers or followers?
Yeah.
And did you notice it going down when you stopped?
I mean, I'm still playing Call of Duty. I still notice my Call of Duty days are kind of higher than the
Yeah.
rest of the days. It's just, that's what people want to watch. I'm not going to take that stuff out of my library, but I don't want to be that. I don't want that to be the only thing that I do.
Yeah.
You know
A
what I
lot
mean?
of streamers that only stream one thing, they get burned out. A lot. I've heard that. I've heard like they stream one game and then for a couple of months, and then it gets frustrated. They get frustrated because of issues with the game, whatever kind of issues, and then they take a couple weeks off or a month off. So yeah, to find
Shroud.
a balance.
Shroud has said, Shroud, pro gamer, pro Counter Strike Go player, whatever, for a long time, and then he stopped being pro to stream, and he's played like every BR, every shooter under the sun, right? But he said if he could get away with it, he would just play WoW forever. He likes WoW, so, and that's not what he's known for. So
Yeah, the same with Summit 1G also played Fortnite, and that's where his viewers, that's what his viewers wanted. But he got so frustrated with the game, and it started weighing on him, on his mind so heavily, that he just started getting tilted and he stopped, and he started playing Sea of Thieves. I think he started
yeah, he had a
playing.
reemergence with Sea of Thieves. It blew up for him
Hmm.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
But even that, just, I love Sea of Thieves. But could you
never played it.
imagine? Well, as basic as Sea of Thieves is, and it's pretty basic.
Hmm.
Could you imagine playing a game like that for 8 hours a day, 7 days a week?
Yeah, I think the only game that I can see myself playing for a long time is ESO. Either ESO or not, no, Overwatch. I can't play Overwatch because there are so many issues with ESO that like the game crashes, it's not well, it's just the servers are shit. That the more you play it, the more you start getting tilted about all the issues they have, and you get angry. And then no, same with Overwatch. Overwatch is a very it's a good game, but I'm not good at it, so I go on crazy losing streak, and
It
then I get
happens.
tilted.
It happens. It
And I get
happens.
all day. And
I'm
I
the
see
same
all the
way.
streamers, that's all they play, that's all they stream. And like, ugh, yeah.
I don't know how
But
people
I
like.
don't get a lot of viewers playing Overwatch. I don't.
Oh
It's a
no,
game that I like to play, but
I don't know how people like Co Carnage get away with being partnered variety streamers with thousands and
mhm.
thousands of views.
Yeah,
But
Dance Gaming.
Dan's
I
Gaming,
don't
yeah.
follow Cool Carnage, but I do follow Dance Gaming. Yeah, yeah. Have to be. Maybe we have to be more entertaining. I don't
So
know. Like, I have no idea what it is. I don't know
you
what this.
you have any big projects coming down the pipeline for your stream?
I have a birthday next month,
Oh, happy
so
birthday!
yeah, I want to get and my new emote slot. So I'm going to do my first ever subathon. I was
Like,
very reluctant of doing that because I'm such a small channel, and I always thought like it's too much pressure on my small community. So I don't know, but I really want to get the next emo slot open. So yeah, my birthday
uh,
is on the 12th,
how
12th
many?
September
How many?
12th,
Is that your 30 emote slot or your fourth?
35. The 35 sub is the fourth. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the
Uh, yes, the fourth one. I just got that recently. Like
oh, it is correct.
the thing is like, so I didn't. Hey, go. What's going on? Hey, short changer. Say hi to people coming in. Steinsgat, how you doing? Hope you guys are doing good. Just read the stream title. Hey, Rogue. Joab, how you doing? Crack lads. Funny. And I lost my train of thought. That ever happened to you? You just.
You were talking about unlocking your final emote.
Oh yeah. I didn't lobby or petition for it. You know, I wasn't saying, "Hey
Mhm.
guys, let's do this." It just kind of
Happened
happened.
naturally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was really cool. Yeah, I don't lobby for stuff like I probably should. Tech says, "Hey Stan, you should save your money and not do any giveaways and just pay one of these like YouTube or somebody to advertise your channel." But it's super expensive. Oh my gosh, it's so expensive. Have
Mm-hmm.
you looked into that stuff?
Mm-mm. No.
Uh,
Anything that costs money right now is off the table until I find a job.
yeah, it's like hundreds of dollars a week, and I'm like,
Oh gosh.
that's crazy. I'd rather just give away the $60 or what. But and hope for the best, you know. But it is what it is.
But you do want to get partnered and grow, right? So even though you
Um,
like I don't know if you want to do this as your full-time job, or you just want to have two jobs.
well, here's the thing: is when I started out, like everybody wants to do this for a living, but
Mhm.
you also got to realize that you got to be humble and modest. Like I didn't even want to take donations. I didn't want to take tips when I first started. And somebody was like, "Oh man, don't think of it as donations. Think of it as tipping." You know,
Yeah.
like you're like if you were playing a guitar on the street corner and you had a guitar case open and somebody threw couple of dollars in there. Think of it like that. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I get your point there. So think of it as tipping because I didn't want anybody to give me any money. I just wanted to have fun and grow that way.
And you started
And
before the whole affiliate thing too, right?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
before that whole, yeah.
So yeah, I started in 2014 June, and yeah, I wanted. Who doesn't want to play video games for a living? But then you got to
Right.
humble yourself. You got to humble yourself, and you got to be like, only 1% make it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That doesn't mean I'm not going to work for it, or I'm not going to try, or I'm not going to, see, because I have fun doing it. So if you're having fun doing it, why not keep trying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm okay if I don't.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I had fun. I've made a bajillion friends. Uh,
Right.
so even if I don't make partner or make it big, it was worth it to me just to meet all the new faces and yeah, just have fun playing games.
Yeah.
It,
It's time that we would have spent playing the game anyway,
right,
but you get to share that with a group of people. Yeah.
right.
Like I am not very outgoing. I don't really like being around too many people, but streaming is different because you have if you have a good community, if you have a shitty community, then people
Right.
that just troll you the whole time. But if you have a good community, it just yeah, it's a really really fun thing.
You and I are almost the same age. I was born in 80 and you were
78.
born in 78.
Yeah.
So we I don't know if your gaming career goes back to Nintendo,
Yeah, the NES.
the NES, Super Nintendo,
Hmm.
and shit like that.
I
But
never had a Super Nintendo. It was the
never had a
NES and
Super
the
Nintendo.
Atari.
But I remember uh, PS3. We're
Hmm.
moving ahead. Actually, PS2. Okay, PS2. Metal Gear Online was the first online game I think I've ever played on as an online thing, right? And think about that. Like, and then Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was the first online game I played with party chat and all the features and
Hmm.
things like that. And it was so cool. Made a lot of friends on Call of Duty 4 and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And just it's just so crazy that how much the taking all your games, single player, multiplayer, all that, and taking it online on a community like Twitch or YouTube or Facebook Gaming or Mixer or whatever you're doing, live streaming, right, your games.
Hmm.
To me, it just took that same experience that of playing Call of Duty 4 or Metal Gear Online and just enhanced it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I
it's
think my first online game was uh Modern Warfare. It's Call of Duty Modern Warfare, one of them, but on the PlayStation 3.
yeah.
Two, I think. I want to say two, but I don't remember. Yeah, so that was and PlayStation 3 didn't have party, so me and my friend we would play it and we would talk. Oh, we got a lot of shit. We got a
Yeah,
lot of shit
they
with
didn't have
people.
parties, so you had to talk in the lobby.
Yes.
And I remember that.
And
But I made a lot of friends through those lobbies, and oh man. But then being able to do that like on Twitch, and have like a chat list that you can read and
yeah. Hmm.
people that can, if you have the same game and they want to jump on and play with you, to me it's a even
Yeah, it's
though,
just a
yeah, it's
yeah,
an enhancement that just
enhancement of
made
that
my video
one.
games a video game like to me. I cannot do video games without Twitch. All right, I've done it for so long. I can't do video games without Twitch. Oh, I'm gonna play this
Yeah.
offline. Oh no, somebody will think this is so cool. Uh,
Yeah, that's what I've noticed soon after I started streaming, that gaming without streaming is it's not the same. It's not the
no,
same anymore. Yeah, I do still do it occasionally. I do play games not on stream, but yeah, it has made the experience a lot better to be able to talk to people and have people laugh at you when you make silly mistakes, laugh at your not so funny jokes, my dad jokes.
I love dad
Yeah,
jokes.
yeah,
Hey,
getting trolled by my viewers.
did you hear about that new restaurant on the moon?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I heard they've got great food, but no atmosphere.
Yeah, dad jokes right there. Yeah.
uh, but no, yeah, Twitch is. I don't know that I can do gaming without Twitch anymore. And you know, you've been, even though you've not been streaming on the platform, you've been on the platform
I've been
as
on the
long or
platform for a
longer than
very,
me.
very long time. Yeah.
Um, so you've seen, like, I'm sure you've seen people who have walked away. They've just,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
I can't do this no more. And I've known a few people, and I'm just like, they still game. How are
Yeah.
they? No, confuses me on
Was
how they enjoy it without like
yeah,
their
I
communities
also
and
wonder
stuff.
like what made them what made why did they leave? Is what was it the community? Was it the hate? Was it the pressure to perform? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes too you get involved with other streamers, and this happened to be earlier my
Mm-hmm.
streaming career, and so there was a group of us that wanted to stream together and support each other and all this other stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't think everybody agreed on like what content they were going to make together, and so creative differences, whatever. Part of them leave, and it
Mm-hmm.
that was super frustrating. And I still love those guys, but it is what it is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and but at the time, it feels like a big mountain of inner drama that's just really petty or pithy. You know what I mean? And you're just like, maybe that's what divides. Like, maybe I should
Maybe.
take a break. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not a likable person. You start doubting yourself and shit like that.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, drama, Twitch drama is one thing that I really do not want to get into.
Yeah,
I don't do well, especially since I'm a 41-year-old woman. Yeah.
I
The
don't
hell am
do
I
well
doing in
with
drama?
I don't do well with real life drama, let alone like
Right.
internet drama.
Internet
Like,
drama.
kind of makes me wonder like how some of these drama channels like
Mm-hmm.
Keemstar, or of course Keemstar's on YouTube, but there's these drama people on Twitch too, like talk about other streamers and stuff, and I'm like, I don't
I
know how
think
that's
Twitch does
fun.
have a rule that if you get reported for talking bad about a streamer, you can get banned or you get a suspension at least.
I don't think. See, I think it's real careful and fine line though. I think you're allowed to criticize what someone's doing, but a lot
Mm-hmm.
of times that turns out or gets interpreted as straight on attack. Like, well, I didn't mean it for it to sound like I was personally attacking you. I was just trying to give you a little constructive criticism. took
No,
it
that's
from.
another thing. People can't
But
take those anymore.
but then some people really do. Yeah. Have you when you get on stream, you, with today's social climate that we people being
Hmm.
so super sensitive about everything, do you worry about some of the, what you say,
Oh yeah.
mostly what you say, or
Oh yeah. Because I'm almost a boomer. I grew up in a different.
we're not boomers? Tech is a boomer. We
No,
are not
we're
boomers.
almost boomers. Yeah, it's like 20 years difference, 30 years different when some of these, maybe 30 is too much, but yeah, we grew up differently. Especially, I'm not American. I don't know what you guys are sensitive about. If I say something, or even if I'm saying it wrong, I in my mind I translate it from Dutch to English, and
Right.
it comes out wrong. I've had this in my relationship with when I say something and it's not right, or when he says something and I take it too literally, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I am careful with what I say. Sorry,
Yeah.
and I do sometimes, like, okay, no, I can't say this. No, I can't say that. People are gonna get upset. I'm gonna upset someone.
And that's
Yeah,
the thing too, is you can't please everybody. Like
yeah,
just having an opinion these days can get you crucified. Seems
yeah.
like you think about all the people getting canceled over things that they said like 10 years ago.
No, I think the things that you say 10, 15 years ago, I am a different person now than I was whenever I was in my early 30s. I grew, and you learn things.
Mm-hmm.
And if 10 years people are allowed to make mistakes in their past, they're allowed to grow past it, learn from it, and move away from it. Like, if it's something that I said, for example, and I'm like, okay, I am no longer that person. And because I know that whenever I was in my mid to late 20s, I was not a nice person. So, but I am no longer like that. So
Yeah,
people getting canceled for something they did when they were young is just stupid, because I'm we might have said some shitty stuff, but there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter, there was no
right.
one recording it forever. So if someone says something stupid today and then in 20 years they try to run for office, it's like, look what you said 20 years ago now.
Yeah, no, that's so crazy.
No.
And the public court of opinion is so ruthless.
Yeah. Did my
Camera freeze.
screen free? Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I remember like being a teenager in the '90s, and even in my early '20s, in the early 2000s, or whatever. Like saying, I don't know if you did this, but like, everything that was dumb, that's gay. You know, that's
Hmm.
gay. And even in front of my gay friends, I'd be like, "That's gay." No offense. And they'd be like, "None taken." You know, like
Hmm.
we used to be so like, I don't know if it was the same for you, but growing up, we used to be really crude in some of the shit that we said, and you didn't mean to offend nobody about it.
Yeah.
That's just like
But
how everybody talked, and so
yeah.
like, but
Yeah, with the it's gay thing, that is something that I was never comfortable with, because as a gay person, you're like, it's another word for lame. So, I never liked that. Never
right.
liked that.
Well, I grew out of it. I
Hmm.
understood. You know, somewhere in my mid 20s, that was hurtful to
Exactly.
somebody.
It
You know
was
what I mean?
hurtful.
And so I grew out of it. But when you're in high school and everybody refers to that thing
Hmm.
as that's gay, that that's just what you're going to refer to it as, not thinking of the
Yeah.
implications, or it's just crazy. And I worried for the. You're right. We didn't have. I think Facebook and Twitter is either going to be the thing that brings everyone together in peace and unison, or it's going to be the thing that destroys us all. There's no
I think
black and white there.
it's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. Whenever a couple of weeks was a couple of weeks, or was it last month? There was this whole Me Too movement in the Twitch community and the Destiny community, and I was like, it's a good thing people coming out with their traumas and their issues, and but whenever you go into the comments, I'm like, oh my god, people are horrible. And
Yeah,
why am I going in the comments? It's gonna be a shit show. Why are you going in the comments? It's like, Twitter is a good thing, but if you dive too deep in it, it's not good
it's
for
not
anyone's
healthy.
mental
Yeah,
health. Because I
absolutely.
really believe that a lot of the people who type those things are just trolls. I mean, they have to be. People
Right.
can't be. Maybe I'm naive, but I'm like, people can't be that evil.
I think
You
what it
know?
is the animate. Help me with the word. I can't say that word very good. The anonymity of it all.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
having your, not having your, have to worry about your real name or your face being out there behind
Hmm.
your comment. So your comment can be like a dagger and it doesn't matter because they don't know who you really are.
Yeah.
And yeah, I kind of wish that Twitter would move to real names. like that
Like
way.
Facebook. Is Facebook any better? I don't have Facebook, so I don't know.
Yeah,
But they do use real names there.
yeah, that's true. I, here's my problem with face. My problem with Facebook is that like I'm apolitical,
Hmm.
and so when I get on Facebook with all my friends and family and shit, like that's the thing is like when I got on Facebook, it was to promote my stream, not to
Yeah.
be friends with my mom. Okay, but that's what Facebook is. Facebook connects you with people that you
Yeah.
already know.
Yeah.
And so I have a Facebook and hundreds of friends and family that I grew up with, not really people from the streaming community or anything, which is why I
Hmm.
like Discord and Twitter a whole lot more. But
Yeah.
when I look at my Facebook feed, like, okay, I accept that Facebook is for family and friends. And I want to see it like a scrapbook or a photo album, you know what I mean? But when you log on there, it's pro Trump this, pro Trump that, pro
Hmm.
Trump propaganda to the point of
Yeah.
fakery news and stuff. And then you got the same thing on the other side, you know, the pro Bernie Sanders, whatever, just, oh, and it's just people fighting. And I am, I was telling my Twitch stream not that long ago that I feel politically suppressed because I am, you know, conservatively, physically conservative. Like I believe in
Hmm.
small government. Like government shouldn't
Hmm.
be telling you what to do. They shouldn't have ownership or their fingers or anything. They shouldn't tell you who to love, what to put in or take out of your body.
Hmm.
Um, like the whole abortion thing, that should not be a government thing. A
Hmm.
person and their doctor. Um, but I'm also very socially liberal. You know what I mean? Like what you do is your business.
Yeah.
Who you love is your business, and that doesn't make you less of a person. You know, that's just leaving it. You have your every right. So I don't know. And in America, it's very hard, right and left, almost to the point of
Very,
extreme
very, very divided. Yeah.
extreme radicalism. You know what I mean? On either side. So
Hmm.
if you're this far on the left, you believe in socialism and you want all that, which is bigger government. Um, if you're on the it's so stupid because like the conservatives aren't conservative anymore. They just spend as much money as the other party does, and I don't know, man. It's I'm a very middle ground fence sitter kind of person.
Mm,
Like I don't believe in black and whites. I believe they it's a case by case, a lot of gray.
yeah.
I don't know. How do you?
The the division that you guys have there is pretty much the same here in Aruba. I don't think it is like that in the Netherlands because I did vote there a couple of times, but it's not as divisive there. But here in Aruba, people are behind a political party like it's a freaking football game with the colors
Yeah,
and the slogans, and it's not about policy, it's about party.
right.
And policy wise, the different political parties here, they don't differ much. Aruba is kind of leans a lot to the left. There
Mm-hmm.
is we are like most of Northern Europe, mostly social democrats,
Mm-hmm.
what you guys would call social democrats, but that is our normal. So policy wise, there isn't a lot of difference in the parties, but it's all about whoever my family votes for or voted for or whatever. It's just very, very partisan, and it has nothing to do with policy. Is whoever my family has always voted for, that's who I'm going to vote for, and that's my colors. That's the way it is here. It's not much different.
It's
If we're going to vote on policy, then either political party will win because they don't have anything like too different from each other.
see another thing about America is that you have what's called the popular vote. So like your big cities like New York, Los Angeles, California, and New York, and Texas that are like really heavily populated. To make sure that those three states don't control the overall politics of all the smaller states and stuff, we have what's
Mm-hmm.
called an electoral college. And what the electoral votes are is like so everybody in my region of my state votes, right? And
Mm-hmm.
whoever wins that vote, we're not actually voting for the president or we're just
Mm-hmm.
telling them that that's what we want. And our electoral representative is the person that actually votes for the president. And so I live in a very deep red state.
Mm-hmm.
So all the electorals, no matter what, are going to vote red. They're going to vote
Okay.
Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Um, now there are very deep blue states like New York, California. You know what I'm saying? But then you
Mm-hmm.
got swing states. See, what happens is like people from Tennessee move to so and so. They move to Ohio or whatever. Or somebody from California decides they want to retire and move out somewhere in the Midwest somewhere. So that's how you get swing states that really are
Mm-hmm.
kind of, you don't know which way they're going to go this time. You know what I mean? And I'm not in a swing state. So I feel very politically like when I go to the poll, it doesn't matter what I want because or what I vote because it's going to get voted for me. I'm going to get like outnumbered by it. So I don't know.
That's so
Crazy.
weird. Yeah, that's one thing I really never understood. You explain it. You explain it a little better than what I have heard of, but yeah, this some one thing I never understood, like why you can win one election but lose another,
Yeah, it's because
or lose one and win the other. Yeah, I don't know.
well, think of it like this way, right? Like uh, Netherlands. Let's talk about
Hmm.
Holland specifically. Now, the biggest populations are Amsterdam and what's the other?
Rotterdam,
Rotterdam.
Rotterdam. Hmm.
All right. Imagine Amsterdam and Rotterdam decided who the next prime minister of the Netherlands was going to be. Okay?
Hmm.
Because everybody gets to vote for that, right? But because the population in Rotterdam and Netherlands is so high, and let's say both of them lean a particular left leaning way, that no matter what, that's how they're going to vote every single time. And so that's what you're going to get for your prime minister. So, but let's say the people in the rural areas of those cities or out in the country don't agree with that way of life, you know, they want to vote the other way, but they can't because Rotterdam. And so what it would be is like if you took Holland and divided it up by the provinces or whatever regions, that like the popular, like, I don't know if I'm explaining this right. So like you would give like
I'm following.
you would give Holland, you would give Amsterdam like 3 electoral votes, and you would give, that means of all the people that vote in Amsterdam, doesn't matter because they only get 3 electoral votes, and then all the people in Rotterdam, they get 3 electoral votes, but there's this region to the north that gets 1, or this region to the south that gets 2 because of the population or whatever, and this region over here that gets 1. Well, if all the 1s and 2s and stuff like that outvote the cities, then it could swing the other way. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how the United States works. Urban politics would always win. Yeah, exactly. The Midwest vote always in the U.S. pretty much always wins the election. So if you can win the Midwest, then because the Deep South, right, where I live, is always going to vote Republican. Just like the Deep Union North and California are always going to vote Democrat. So if you can get the swing states in the Midwest, that's really who decides who president's going to be.
And what would change that? What would change? What would change that? Is it? It's not set in stone, right?
Right.
It's
so
not written in law that these states have to vote a certain way. So
no.
What would make it change?
The demographic change. So like if there were more liberals moving, all right, like I live in Tennessee, right? Tellico Village is a retirement community in Tennessee. So let's say Tellico Village expanded, and so there were a lot more retirees coming to the state to live in Tellico, right? And let's say the retirees were coming from New York and California, where they're most liberal, and they're moving to the Republican South. Well, now you have a new demographic coming in that could be larger than the demographic that comes from there, and that would swing the vote. That's what I'm saying. Is like Florida, for example, they were a Republican a term ago, but now you got a lot more people going and retiring in Miami and Daytona and stuff like that. So now they're considered a swing state. They can go Republican or Democrat because we don't know, because so many people have moved in to Florida and so many people have moved out of Florida. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I did hear about red states and blue states and battleground states. I guess that's the one where they don't have a color yet. That's the one that they want to win.
Right. Which is the swing state. So if they say a battleground state, that means it's a swing state. It's a toss up on what they're going to vote, because the population, so many people have moved out, and then so many more people have moved in, and the people that moved in have came from a certain demographic somewhere else in the country. So
right.
So just because Ohio's red this time, right? If a lot of people decide to move from Ohio to where the jobs are, like further west or whatever, but there's still great retirement communities in Ohio. So people from New York and California moving to Ohio, it could turn blue,
Mm.
making it a swing battleground state.
Yeah, even if I move to the United States, I will never be able to vote there
Why?
because I'm not. I'm gonna keep my Dutch citizenship.
You can have a dual citizenship.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
No.
No,
Yeah, no.
no. I have a cousin. He married an American lady, and he's the one that has been like guiding me through all this immigration stuff and paperwork. And so he was telling me that yeah, you can apply for American citizenship. I think after 5 years or something. I'm not sure, but like, why would you want to? Maybe when I live there, I'll change my mind. But I'm moving to be with somebody, but this is always going to be my home. And
Right.
even though I get an American citizenship, it would say I am an American citizen. I'm not. I was born here. I'm Dutch. I don't know. It's the way I
Right.
see it.
Um, on the outside looking in, right? Because, and I don't want to hold you up too much longer. Uh, like you have places that, like Mexico, for example, the economy there in Mexico is not very good. So you'll have
Mhm.
a lot of Hispanic people trying.
Yeah.
And America is a place where it rewards hard work over anything else. So if you work hard,
Mhm.
you do your part, and you become a citizen, so to speak, um, it is the land of opportunity in that way. You
Yeah.
get in what you take, you know, you get out of it what you put or you're willing to put into it. Um, as a non-American looking at America, um, how bad do we look right now?
Um, how bad do you look? You know, one particular person looks really bad. Um,
I would
and
imagine that be the copper top.
yes, the orange pussy grabber. Yeah, he does look really bad because apart from what he was running on is what he ran on was anti-establishment,
Hmm.
and a lot of people outside of America, at least here in Europe, they understand that. They understand the going against the establishment change, but he is not doing a good job, and he is blaming everyone but himself for it. He's not taking responsibility. He's just not working, and he doesn't seem to see that. So that particular trait is what people really are like, what the hell are you doing, you know?
See, I don't
But
know. I didn't know if like y'all view him the same way as I view him. And there's things that he has done that I have liked.
mhm,
Like I like the sanctions and the tariffs put on China because that just makes more companies come here to grow businesses. And I like some of the tax cuts he's done for businesses to entice them to come and opening up businesses. So his
mhm.
economic policies and the economic growth I do like. There's a lot of
Yeah.
things he does that I don't like. Like
'Cause the thing that if it wasn't for the coronavirus, he would have been reelected. Now I don't know
right.
because the coronavirus is something that, of course, you can't control. But if he had managed it properly, and he wouldn't be in the boat he is now. So I'm looking at it right now as just as objective as possible. I don't like that man, but as subjective as possible. So
Right.
if he had done a better job at handling the pandemic, he wouldn't be in the boat he is now.
I agree.
But he messed up the one good thing he had, which was the economy. Yes, he messed it up by not handling the coronavirus well.
Right. Yeah. Pre-pandemic, the economy, I got to give him
Yeah,
props. It was the best it's ever
the
been.
economy was really going well.
I actually
But
like. Look, I told you guys that I'm for peaceful protest, but I'm against the rioters and looting and all that stuff, the tearing down of like courthouses and so having the police militia going into Portland and helping them organize their shit and get their shit together for them, I like that.
mhm.
But yes, the way he talks, the way he demeans people, his arrogance when he's on Twitter, the sexism, the
All
oblivious
that.
racism,
Yeah.
the way he's handled the pandemic, I hate it. I can't stand it. I'm being honest, and so that does make somebody like me, if my vote counted, want to vote for a Biden because Biden's a moderate. He's more moderate, and he's practically a corpse. A corpse can't hurt you. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Biden gets reelected, and whoever runs against him in 4 years, maybe he will get elected. Like people are just trying to vote Trump out, and then in 4 years they're going to vote another conservative in. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah,
I
you're
don't know.
absolutely right. I've heard rumor, and I don't know if it's true or not, that Biden only wants to be a one-term president. Like he wants to pass that torch off to his vice president. I don't know if that's true or not.
I didn't hear that.
But yeah, it's just I do think Bernie is the reason Bernie's not running against Trump, right? Is because Bernie would definitely lose. I think you have to be more moderate to beat Trump. But also, Bernie's too progressive for American capitalism. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a weird place to be in.
That does make sense. A lot of Americans that I have spoken to are not really, you included, are not really very pro Bernie because it's too left. He's too left.
Right.
And compared to what we in Aruba and in the Netherlands and Sweden and Finland, he would just be centrist. He wouldn't be too left.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
The centrist, huh?
Mm-hmm. We are way more. Yeah, for example, I had a couple of, yes, 2 years ago, year and a half ago, no, a year ago, I woke up with a lump in my breast. And I went to my general practitioner. I went to get a mammogram. I went to get a echo, and I went to get one more test with $0 out of pocket. Nothing, nothing, nothing. In about 10 days, I'm going to get my tubes tied. So I went to the gynecologist, my practitioner, did surgery, anesthesia, everything. I will have paid zero money, $0. I didn't pay anything. So that is what we are used to. I know it's different there, and that's
So
one
far
of
off
the
my
reasons
country, it's
why I
insane.
am. You guys are so far off my country. That's the satellites from Sweden.
Okay.
Yeah,
I am all for universal health care.
it's very expensive though. Before I go and say this is all good and this is the way it should be for everyone, it is very expensive, and we pay a lot of taxes. I pay a lot of taxes. So just put it out there.
I am all in for universal health care. You know, there are other countries that figured it out, and I've always wondered why America hasn't figured it out. And they're always like, oh, well, you know, you got to do it the capitalist way because that drives down the prices. No, it doesn't. Well, okay, if if a pharmaceutical company comes out with a patent on a drug, right? That means for so many years they're the only people who can make that drug, so they can jack the price up, lower the price, all that stuff. And it does bother me that, like, my sister who's diabetic has to pay a fortune for insulin when someone who is a drug addict can go down to the methadone clinic and get methadone for hardly nothing. You know what I mean? Like, that is so super frustrating. So I get it. I do think that the healthcare reform that we got from the Obama administration is lackluster. And I think it's because he was so concerned about getting it passed that he made too many concessions with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't, and that's another thing, is I don't trust my government to handle healthcare.
Oh, okay. Would it matter if it was a conservative or
It doesn't matter
Democratic,
because
Republican? I don't know.
yeah,
Would it matter?
like there's government should, like I said, in my opinion, be small and not too far overreaching and have their hands in everything. I do think there should be some regulation and some infrastructure there against healthcare, to where, like, they can't charge someone with cancer an outrageous price. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, it's so bad. Like, I don't know if they do this in Dutch Parliament, or if they do this in the UK or whatnot. But in America, big corporation actually goes to Congress or to the White House or whatever politician and lobbies to have the laws changed in or written in where they benefit, where the big companies benefit.
We don't have lobbyists. No.
And that's to keep the big businesses here. A lot of times they'll take a little bit of money, the politician get a little crooked, stick that in his pocket, and let them have what they want. And to me, it should be illegal for the lobbyists. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, we have here in Aruba is a lot of abuse of power. For example, the government prior to this one wanted to build a whole new highway system, which was a good plan. It is. We're using it now. It is better. But what they did was they hired people and somehow the money came back around to paying them. I'm not sure how this all worked, but it's being investigated right now. So, like, it's corruption. The highway is there. We paid it, taxpayers pay it, and it ended up enriching the former prime minister somehow. Because the people he hired through corporation, through holdings and everything, it ended up back in his pocket.
Right.
So yeah, those kind of abuses of power are like definitely not unique to people. Are greedy.
Yeah.
Greedy people. Did you say illegal or legal?
I think he was talking to me. Did you say illegal or legal?
I'm not sure what I said. No, about what? Oh gosh. But yeah.
It's crazy. It's a crazy time. Like, I wish, and I'm glad to hear from you that not like every country is being so divisive and at each other's throats and stuff like that. With the lobbies, I wish it was illegal. Right now, it is very legal for them to go do that. Yeah, it should be illegal for a company to go to Congress and ask them to make the law in such a way that they benefit from.
And what they do is they promise certain politicians to donate to their
To
to
their
their
campaigns.
campaigns, and if they vote positively towards them. Yeah.
That's exactly how it works. It's
Yeah.
greasing of the palms. But it's legal because the company is now known as a campaign donator. So it's all legal. To me, it's, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Just like I don't think there should be patents on medication. If you design the cure for cancer, right, you should not be the only one with the cure to cancer and able to sell it off at high rates. Like there should be some government regulation that makes you share that knowledge.
Right.
Um, you know, it,
What does the OD podcast mean? I see your title.
occasional dilemma.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And if you think about our conversation today, kind of makes sense.
Right.
How come there is only 2 to vote on? In America, we have a 2-party system that has been popular since its inception. Our country is very young. It is the youngest country out of all the countries. So it was founded on that 2-party system. And like that for 100 years. And there have been people that have tried to run on the independent ticket. You have your Green Party, you have your Libertarians, which is where I've kind of fall into. Very moderate person, not right, not left. I hate all of them. But then you also have the Tea Party, which is more conservative, but also they're radicalized. That's like the far right, so like, but they don't really run because what happens is because we've been on a 2-party system for so long, that when a third party runs, they're getting such a small percentage of the vote that it's really just taking away votes from either or the other side. So that's just the way it is. Sucks. I wish we had like 6 or 7 parties like the Netherlands.
Yeah, we have a lot of parties here too.
I don't want to keep you past your time. I know you said you could only talk. So
yes, it is 10. Oh, 10:01.
I do want to thank you. I do want to invite you back to talk again.
Sure. This was my first podcast, by the way. I'm kind of nervous.
Well,
I didn't know how it was going to work.
Like I said, when I started this, I just wanted to talk to different creators, and I promise not every time that we sit down to talk, I'm going to talk about politics. I swear to God. But like right now, that's what's going on in my world. So, you know, but yeah, I would love to have you back just to sit and chat and get my audience to know who you are and go follow Gene's 1978. But yeah, I really do appreciate you.
It's been fun. Thank you so much for having me. And I will see you in chat. All right. I'll be lurking.
All right.
Okay.
You have a good night.
Bye.